You're watching Cause for Paws, and I'm your host, Connie Carter. Thank you, everybody, for joining me today. As you notice, I have certain ears on that are not normally cat, and I will have to say, they're not cats today. So you have to pardon me. But we're doing, guess what? We are doing bunnies. Very special show today. It's all about bunnies and why you shouldn't buy them or adopt them during this holiday season of Easter. So, with me today, I have a wonderful friend of mine who I got in touch with her maybe when we were born. So I've known her for just a couple of years. She's known as the Bunny Lady all over the place. And she is here to give us some information on why it's not a smart idea to adopt a bunny or purchase a bunny or a chick right now. So welcome, Janelle.
Thank you, Connie. Thanks for having me. This is a very important time for me right now to get the word out about bunnies at Easter.
It is, because I know, and Janelle, you work as a volunteer at the county shelter.
Right, the PG Animal Shelter.
The Prince George's County Animal Shelter at on Brown Station Road in Upper Marlboro. And we fear this time of the year. We fear it because Easter's coming, and a couple months after Easter, they get an influx of bunnies.
Right.
And that's what we're trying to avoid.
About a month or two afterwards, you'll get an influx of bunnies.
Right. Just ignore the phone. That's okay. That's a bunny calling me. Hey, you forgot to get me up. Okay, anyway, it'll stop in a minute. Anyway, you volunteer. How long have you volunteered there?
3 years now.
3 years.
3 years.
And you've been doing what there besides working with the bunnies? I know you do that, but tell me a little bit.
That's really mainly what I do is the bunnies, and I do a lot of educational programs for them. When I first went, they asked me to start teaching the staff how to take care of rabbits because they're mainly a dog and cat rescue, and they didn't know how to take care of bunnies. They had a hoarding situation of 59 rabbits that came in, and they didn't know what to do, so I got a call. So I started teaching the staff how to deal with bunnies and how to take care of them. Then they wanted me to do the volunteers, so I did a program for them, and then they wanted me to open to the general public, so I did a couple programs on Saturday for the general public, and then right now I'm getting ready to do one for some interns that are coming in training, bunny training.
Good, excellent, excellent. You know, I love bunnies. I love all animals, and I see a lot of bunnies, and I keep thinking, oh, I would love to have a bunny, but realistically, no. I'm smart enough to know that bunnies are above my grade level. I am not there. I can do kitties, cats, kittens, but I don't do bunnies. I love bunnies, I respect bunnies, and I respect you because of all the hard work that you do.
Thank you.
Before we get started on this program that you set up for us, I'd like you to talk. See my bunny? I just hold the bunny. This is a Flemish giant, and this is one of the fosters for Mark. Was I supposed to not say your name? Mark Patterson. Was I not supposed to say your name? Okay, forget it. He's fostering this baby. He just got it in from Texas, I think it was.
Eastern Shore Rabbit
And
Rescue.
from Situation. And this is a little girl, right?
She's a big girl.
What?
A big girl.
She's a big girl.
Big girl.
She's a big girl. And I'm told that she weighs, oh, I'm sorry, gotta rub your head again. She's about 10 pounds now, and she will get a lot bigger. So tell me about the Flemish Giant a little bit.
The Flemish Giant is actually the largest breed of rabbits. Right in the United States now, we have 49 accepted breeds of rabbits, with the Flemish Giant being the largest, and they can actually get up to 25 pounds.
That's bigger than my dog.
Well,
that's really bigger than my dog.
So they're a huge, huge rabbit, but they're one of the most affectionate rabbits there is.
Well, look at this little girl. I mean, this big girl. She's just, I mean, she fills up my lap, and I just don't want her to get too hot here. Okay, here we go. So, and we have here two little itty bitties. I love this little brown one. I don't know if we can see the little brown one very well, but that one is Munchie.
Munchie's a mini lop.
I love lops. I love lops. I love to wear their ears. Do their ears ever go up?
Not normally. Not normally, they're down. Sometimes you'll get an airplane ear bunny where one ear goes up and the other goes down.
Oh.
But this happens to be both down. And then there's little Doyle. I'm not exactly sure what breed Doyle is.
Doyle
but he's an up ear.
Okay.
The little black one is an up ear.
And they seem to like each other.
They're a bonded pair.
Oh.
A bonded pair.
So Allison is off camera right now, and she is the mommy to Munchie and Doyle.
Right.
Say hi to Allison, everybody.
Hi, Allison. Thank you for letting me bring the bunnies.
She came in and brought her bunnies because we wanted to make sure we had some kind of bunnies here to show you. So anyway, thank you, Allison, for bringing in your bunnies. And I'm falling in love, but I know better. It's above my grade grade. I'll stick to kitties. They're enough to keep me busy. Okay, so let's get started on your program, your PowerPoint presentation. You go. Go, girl.
Okay, my point today is why not to adopt or purchase a rabbit at Easter. Working at the animal shelter about a month after Easter, we will see a huge influx of bunnies coming. So I want to instill in everybody how important it is, and I'm going to try to give you 5 good reasons why not to adopt a bunny at Easter. A rabbit is a long-term commitment. A lot of people don't realize that rabbits live from 8 to 14 years. So you think somebody gets a bunny at 10 years old, and if it lives 8 years, at the end of 8 years, they're probably graduated from high school, going to college. What happens to the bunny? Mom and dad don't want it because it was the child's rabbit, so it comes to the shelter. So you have to realize that bunnies live a long time. 1 or 2 years, no. 8 to 12, 8 to 14 years, yes. So you have to keep that in mind. If you're an older person, like an older teenager and want a bunny, the best thing is adopt an older rabbit as opposed to a younger, because first you're giving them a home, and secondly, they may not be around when you go off to college, and what would you do then?
Yeah.
So that's the first one. People don't realize that they live 8 to 14 years.
Okay.
All right, next one, a rabbit is not a low-maintenance pet.
Oh, I've heard that.
A lot of work, an awful, awful lot of work a rabbit is. It's not one you put in a cage and forget it, and that's it. They're very social. So here's some things. Rabbits need daily exercise and routine care. Rabbits like to be out or running around. They're very muscular, so they like to be out and running around at least 2 hours a day. Don't keep them in a small cage all the time. They need exercise.
Yeah, this is just because they're here.
Well, this is a reasonable home for, during the day, but at night I would let them out, or when you're home, let them out to run around to get some exercise, to stretch out a little bit. Routine care. You have to brush a rabbit. You have to groom it, you keep it clean. You have to feed them twice a day, once in the morning and once in the evening. You water them every day, give them fresh water every day, and you clean their litter box every day. Here we have a litter box. It needs to be cleaned every day, and that's for 2 reasons. One is you don't want it to smell, and the second is it checks the health of the rabbit. If they're not pooping in their box, something is going on, and they're ill. If you don't clean it for a couple days, you wouldn't know. So that's one thing you have to do.
Now, can I just interject something here? You may have going to be covering it, but I understand rabbits do not vomit, throw up.
Right.
And so that's why you have to brush them so much so they don't get the hairballs like cats.
Very much so.
And they get a hairball, but rabbits don't.
No, they don't. And they're self-grooming like a cat. So when they lick themselves, when we're shedding, they could get a hairball in their stomach, and the only way to get rid of that is through a very expensive surgery.
Yeah, okay.
I've had one that went through a $1,200 surgery because of it.
See,
so you need to always brush your rabbit, especially when they're shedding, and that's 4 times a year, shedding.
Okay.
All right, the next one is I need a large exercise pen like this to stay in, not a small pen. The cage or the enclosure needs to be 2.5 times the length of the rabbit. So if you had a rabbit like this Flemish Giant, you would need one 2.5 times the length of it, and tall enough so that they can stand up on their high legs, not low.
Okay.
That's very important too. As I said, you need to check the litter box every day to make sure that they're good and that nothing that's happening to them.
Okay.
Oh, we're checking out the litter boxes now as we speak.
Oh, yeah. Well, Munchie's already checked it out. That's Doyle's turn.
Oh, okay. All right, the next one. A rabbit is not a pet for young children, normally under the age of 8 years old. And everybody goes, oh, I want a bunny for my child to carry around all the time. This is the main thing. Wrong idea.
Right.
Bunnies are prey animals. And if the little child is running after the bunny with their hands like this trying to catch it, that's like a big animal trying to get them and eat them and kill them.
Oh.
So you don't want to carry around a rabbit all the time. They just don't like to be carried around as a general rule, although you can pick them up. I usually say start on the floor so that you're close to the floor and pick them up that way, and gradually, if you need to stand up, you can. But you have to get them to the vets. So there's a time when you're going to pick them up, but they're not an animal that you just carry around all the time. That's not a good thing.
Okay.
It's not a toy. It's certainly
no,
not a toy.
Definitely not a toy.
Kids want to play rough with it and everything like that, and you could hurt the animal. They're very fragile. When you pick it up, if a child picks it up and doesn't have a tight grip on it, it could jump out of their arms. It could break a leg, break a back, and normally you have to let the rabbit go at that time. It's very, very difficult to repair.
So they're delicate.
Broken back, extremely delicate. Extremely delicate.
Extremely delicate, folks.
Yes, so not for children. Let's see what else. Rabbits have a heart rate of 120 to 150 beats a minute, which is quite fast.
Yeah.
They can die of a heart attack.
Wow.
So even if we don't recommend that they keep them outside the people, keep them inside. They're an inside rabbit. If, say, a raccoon jumped up on a cage of a rabbit that was outside, it might not get to the rabbit to kill it, but the rabbit could die of a heart attack.
Wow.
So people don't realize this. Well, I'm going to put it outside and not think about it or take any time with it. But that's not a pet. Put it out in the backyard and don't leave it.
Why bother having it if you're not going to take
You
care of
don't
it?
need anything like that. A bunny can scratch or bite, and people don't realize that they can scratch or bite. They'll pick them up, and the bunny doesn't like to be picked up, and it either scratches or it bites, and then the family will say, well, that's a vicious rabbit. It's violent, it's vicious, and they'll take it back into the shelter and say, this is a mean rabbit, this is a misbehaved rabbit. But it's not. You were not treating it properly when you picked it up, or you picked it up incorrectly, and it bit you as a self-defense.
Yeah.
And they come back, and we have people that say, I don't want that rabbit, it's a mean rabbit, it's a vicious rabbit. But it's not. It's how you handle it. And children don't know ease.
That's true. And so far you've said everything. It's sort of some of the things, most of the things, how to treat is the same with cats.
You have to be gentle with them.
You have to be gentle.
And kids don't know how to be gentle all the time.
Not little babies, not little tiny babies, not little tiny kids.
Nope. And some rabbits stay small. These are full-grown rabbits. They won't get any bigger.
Yeah.
That rabbit may even get bigger yet.
Oh, yeah. I'm told she'll end up being about 20, 25 pounds.
Yeah, it can be that heavy, so you have to be careful.
Yeah.
All right, another thing I wanted to talk about. Oops, wait a minute, hold on. All right, that was that one. The fragile bodies. All right, the next is the rabbit can be an expensive investment. People don't realize this. You have to take care of your rabbit like you take care of any other pet. As soon as you have a rabbit, a lot of dog and cat vets don't see rabbits.
Yeah.
So you have to find a bunny salve vet, and they're considered exotics.
Okay.
As soon as you put the word exotic in front of it,
Ka-ching.
dollar signs come up. Because you've seen TV programs about exotics, and that's all they deal with. Rabbits, anything other than a dog or cat basically is an exotic. But the dollar signs add up. The vet visits are expensive.
Yeah.
And to spay or neuter it, a dog or cat may be under $100. A bunny is $100 to $500, depending on what vet you take to.
Wow. Okay.
So people don't realize, they may be on a limited budget or limited income, and they get this rabbit, and you take it to the vet. It's $100 to $300. They say, I can't afford this, and it comes to the shelter. It's given up or they let the rabbit die because they can't afford care for it.
Wow.
Let's see what else. Let me put this back to here. Vet visits are expensive because they're exotic. Spay or neuter is more expensive. I went over that than dogs or cats.
Okay.
Older rabbits are susceptible to arthritis and heart and liver diseases. So when it gets older, it just like us, they can get arthritis, and that's usually entails medication. And if they have a heart or liver disease, which you're susceptible to, that's medication also. So it's just not, oh, a pet, we're going to leave it here, we're not going to do anything, we're not going to take care of it, it's just a rabbit. But that's not very true.
No, it isn't.
All right, often rabbits don't act ill until it's too late. Being prey animals, bunnies don't show their illness. They hide it because in the wild, if they show it, something's going to eat it or get it. Normally, in a house rabbit, if you wait until you see it's ill, sometimes it can be too late. Okay. So that's another reason why you have to monitor the litter box all the time. If any of your bunnies' habits change, they get lethargic, they don't run around, they don't come to you, they just lay around alert. Something's going on with your rabbit. I need to get it to the vets. Stasis is a big problem where they don't poop or pee. Their gut isn't right. And sometimes a bunny can die within 24 hours. If you say, well, I'll just wait for the weekend to be over. And a lot of times you'll have a dead bunny.
Wow.
Because they just can't wait that long. Can't wait. And let's see, rabbits are susceptible to uterine cancer if they're not spayed at an early age, females.
Same with cats.
Yep. 60% of rabbits over 3 years old will be susceptible or will have uterine cancer if it's not spayed, 60% by the age of 3 years old. So that's why you really need to get it spayed and neutered. The other reason is a rabbit can multiply every 30 days. Every 30 days. All right, it can have 6 to 12 bunnies. In 1 year, it can have over 100 rabbits.
Wow.
So these two bunnies, if they weren't fixed, could have over 100 rabbits in a year.
See, aren't you guys lucky you don't have all those babies?
All right, and lastly, a rabbit can be destructive. All right, rabbits' teeth grow constantly, therefore they're prone to chewing. They chew floorboards, baseboards, furniture legs.
Wow.
They chew, but their teeth grow 3 to 5 inches in a year. So if they don't keep them down, if you have a bunny for 8 years, its teeth will be this long. Whoa. It'll be 3 to 4 feet. Can you imagine
scary.
that?
That's scary.
It is. So that's why they chew all the time. So you have to give them something to chew safe, chew toys, so they can grind those teeth down. And just as an aside, bunnies have 28 teeth.
Oh.
And people don't realize it. They have 2 in the front and 2 behind them, peg teeth, 2 on the bottom, 6, 6, and 5, 5. So they have a lot of teeth in that mouth.
Yeah.
So if they bite you, you're going to be well aware of that situation.
I hope she's okay. She seems okay.
She seems
I'm
okay.
safe.
And the last one I wanted to say about this is they can chew, as I said, baseboards, rugs. They could chew rugs because they like to dig in the wild. And electrical wires. And unfortunately, electrical wires are a disaster a lot of times for bunnies because they will get electrocuted.
Yeah, I bet. Oh,
and it will not only burn their mouth, but a lot of times they'll die from that.
Wow.
So you have to cover or hide all wires. Do anything you can you have to bunny-proof your home before you bring a bunny into the house.
So I'm guessing that the best thing to do if somebody is really serious about adopting a bunny, there are many places to go for adoption of bunnies where they guide you and help you understand the care that's needed before you adopt. Right?
And you need to know that. Do your research before you ever adopt a bunny. Now I have some really quick bunny facts here.
Okay.
A female rabbit can produce every 30 to 32 days for 6 to 12 bunnies. Rabbits are the 3rd most surrendered and 3rd most euthanized pets in shelters. There's too many of them. Rabbits are easily litter box trained. We have a litter box here. I've had rabbits that run free in my house, and I've never had any little poop balls all over the place, so that was good. Rabbits can easily suffer a heart attack or die of fright. And the last one is domestic rabbits cannot fend for themselves in the wild. So if you do not want it, you don't want to open your door and say, here, have at it, go in the wild. They could live maybe a week out there because they're a prey animal. They're the bottom of the food chain. Ooh. So everybody eats them. So my last
I
comment,
don't.
Well, an animal.
Okay.
My last comment,
Oh,
if
yes.
you really must have a rabbit for Easter, you need to consider 2 options.
Okay.
Stuffed animal, chocolate rabbit, not a live bunny until you do your research and you absolutely know what you're getting into so it won't come back to a shelter.
And I think that's the same way with any time you adopt any pet. But bunnies are a whole different category. They really are.
They are.
And it's really, I mean, it's just awesome to have them. I mean, I am very, very happy right now because I have a beautiful bunny to pet, but I know that I am not capable of caring for a bunny the way
Bunny fur.
it should be. Bunny
It's
fur,
a full-time job.
it's
A rabbit is a
full-time job.
full-time job. You don't put it in a cage, leave it alone, and forget about it. They're
Yeah.
social. You can train them to come. They'll come when you
I
call
remember
them.
you had a bunny rabbit that used to...
Sammy.
Sammy.
He did a program with you before.
Yes.
He would come when you called him. He sat
Yeah.
up and begged.
Yeah.
You could teach them all kinds of things. So they're sociable. They really like to be a part of the family. Don't put it in a small cage and keep it there all the time and think you're having a good time with a rabbit. That's not a pet.
So as far as we've got about 5 minutes left to talk, and I want to share with the people out there some of the things that they can do to get some information on bunnies and do their research. How do they do their research? What would you suggest? Talk to a bunny rescue, or go online? Because a lot of online stuff is not quite true.
There's a lot of controversy about this and that. Like they say, we'll give a bunny carrots. Well, they really shouldn't have carrots. Bunnies shouldn't. It's too high in sugar. So you don't know. But I mean, I would say try if you can get a class. I give classes at the shelter in rabbits. See if you can get in a class. Internet does have a lot of information. I did a Google search on why not to adopt a bunny and rabbit and came up with like 50 hits.
Wow.
Go to a rescue. Ask them for help. Do any kind of research you can before you actually buy that bunny.
Yeah.
You know, anything that you could find out. Talk to somebody that has one.
Okay, I think that's probably really smart.
But I wouldn't ask a pet store. They're going to have a prejudiced thought pet store. So I would ask somebody, all right, my friend has a bunny. What is your bunny like to take care of? How much time does it take? What do you do? Who's going to watch it when I go on vacation? You can't send it to a dog or cat kennel.
That's true.
You know, I do bunny
really
setting.
never even thought of that one.
I do bunny setting in my home because my friends don't have anywhere to take their bunny.
Wow.
Kennels normally will not take them.
So
And you can't leave them by themselves.
Yeah, no, they can't. Oh my gosh.
They have to be fed twice a day, every day. So it's not like sometimes a cat you can leave for a weekend.
And you have to keep an eye on it, like you said. And a pet sitter wouldn't know, hey, this is not normal for this rabbit. I need to make sure it goes to the vet.
Or if they come in only twice a day to feed it, what happens if something happens during the day?
Yeah.
That rabbit could pass away.
Wow. Okay, so that's very important. I like the idea of talking to a rescue and also talking to somebody who has rabbits, who I have to do that secondary because not all people who have rabbits do the right thing.
That's true.
So I would say rescue. Go to the rescue.
Yes.
And there's plenty of rescues out there. I know. And contact you.
Yeah. Or foster.
Foster. Oh, that's a
Think
great
about
idea.
fostering to see if that's the kind of pet for you. A lot of rescues, rabbit rescues, need fosters. Foster a bunny for a week to see if that's going to be the pet for you.
That's a good idea. Fostering is a good
But
idea.
just don't go out. It's not an impulse buy. Don't go out as an impulse. Oh, it's cute. I want a rabbit. I'm going to take it home. Now what do I do with it?
Yeah.
You do your research first.
Okay.
And then you can go out and get a rabbit.
Very good. Lots of good information. Thanks. I'm so excited. I'm so happy to have you here because we so need to educate people because they don't do it because they're mean. They do it because they're not educated on how to care for an animal.
There's
And that's our job,
ignorance.
isn't it?
Right.
Is to educate the people.
I'm trying to get it out there of if you have one, it's a great pet, but you need to do the right thing.
That's right. Chocolate bunny, stuffed animal. There you go. It's chocolate bunny, stuffed animal.
Here we go.
I'm going to cover bunny. Okay, so I want to just leave everybody with a couple little things that has to do with cats. Sorry, Janelle. Got to have cats. Okay, I wore bunny ears. Come on.
Well, that's right. That's okay.
I love all animals. All right, so I'm going to be, we're finishing up our kennel comforter project for the shelter, actually. We're getting ready to have a party and celebrate the completion of the project, and then we will be delivering about 400 comforters to the shelter for the cats and dogs. I don't know about bunnies, but cats and dogs. And so we're very excited about that. And last thing is, I'm going to be walking in the MS Walk on April 6th. So if you see this show before April 6th, I will be walking. I will be walking for my husband, who recently passed away from MS. And I urge everybody to understand what MS is. It's a horrible disease. So many people have it right now. We don't know why. There's no really understanding about where it comes from. There's no cure. And so please walk. If you can't walk, donate to help find a cure. So I will be walking for my husband, Lee. And so if you're out there, please walk or just donate, you know. Walk for MS. Anyway, so now we're at the end of our show. I want to thank you once again for joining us in this very important topic.
Thank you so much for having me. It's really important that we get this out there.
I want to thank Allison again for the loan of the cute little bunnies. And I would like to leave you with this one lasting comment. Please remember to spay or neuter your pets, bunnies too, to prevent more homeless animals, because they are a cause for Paws. Thanks, everybody, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Say bye-bye.